Wetware Media presents The Madhouse Effect, how climate change denial is threatening our planet, destroying our politics, and driving us crazy. Written by Michael E. Mann and Tom Toles. Narrated by Alan Taylor. Copyright 2016 by Michael E. Mann and Tom Toles. This recording is copyright 2017 by Wetware Media. For more information about Wetware Media and to browse our other audio titles, please visit wetwaremedia.com. That's WETWAREMEDIA.com. Preface. Why we wrote this book. What would bring a pointy-headed, lab coat-wearing, left-brained scientist and a laid-back, artistic, right-brained editorial cartoonist-satirist to collaborate on a book? The answer is simple: climate change. The warming of the planet caused by our profligate burning of fossil fuels poses perhaps the greatest challenge that human civilization has yet faced. But thus far, we have not met the challenge. We have failed to engage in the actions necessary to prevent dangerous and possibly irreversible changes in our climate. Why? It's not as if the science isn't compelling. It is. It's not as if the threat isn't clear. It is. It's not as if many smart, informed, and concerned individuals haven't sought to bring attention to this crisis. They have. It isn't even that the overwhelming majority of citizens don't recognize the urgency of acting on the problem. They do. So how is it that we have arrived in a madhouse atmosphere where politicians are able to do the bidding of powerful fossil fuel interests while ignoring the long-term good of the people they are supposed to represent? Both of us have asked ourselves this question many times. A scientist tries to understand the way the world works. An editorial cartoonist tries to show the ways it doesn't. These jobs exist in happy parallel universes until something very unusual happens to bring them together. In this case, that something unusual is the outrageous distortion of science in public policy. The distortion, denial, and confusion in the public policy response to climate change has been nothing short of a madhouse. The challenge has been, and still is, to figure out where we are and find the way out. And this is where the scientist and the cartoonist meet. The scientist tries to understand what the facts and implications are. The cartoonist reads about the growing dangers and tries to vividly illustrate them. Each of us, in his own way, is passionate about communicating the urgency of the problem. Mike through public lectures, media interviews, and the university courses that he teaches, and Tom through his famous editorial cartoons and blogs in the Washington Post, which have used humor and satire to highlight this issue for millions of readers. It occurred to both of us that conventional approaches are not succeeding, at least not quickly enough to avert a catastrophe. Perhaps we need to talk and think about the problem in a different way. Maybe, we thought, we need to combine our left brains and our right brains, use both our cerebral cortices and our hearts. And thus was born this collaboration between an editorial cartoonist known for his biting socio-political commentary and a climate researcher known largely for his scientific work. Despite our very different vocations, both of us are committed to informing the public discourse over what is arguably the greatest challenge yet faced by human civilization, the challenge to avert catastrophic interference with Earth's climate. There is a fire in the house, almost a literal one. But even as the evidence becomes unmistakable, and even though the alarm has been sounded several times, public policy has been paralyzed, sometimes from ignorance, sometimes from uncertainty, but often from a campaign of deliberate misinformation. This is the madhouse of the climate debate. We have followed Alice through the looking glass. White roses here are painted red, and words suddenly mean something different from what they used to mean. The very language of science itself, of skepticism and evidence, is used in a way opposite of how science really employs it. Not everyone wants the facts to be known. We have run squarely into what Upton Sinclair famously warned us about. It is difficult to get a man to understand.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?